Just hold on, folks. I'm having problems with the. There we go. Shoot. I'll get it right in a minute, folks. I'm having issues with the camera today, but it's okay. We're gonna get it right. We always do, don't we? Shoot, it's going the wrong way. All right. I want. I want it right today. All right. We got problems, folks, and I mean problems from Hawaii. I just got confirmation. I just told y'all the hurricane is turning left 10 miles away from the island. But I've got bad news. And boy, this is worse than a hurricane. FEMA death barges is heading toward Hawaii as we speak. Just like Port Arthur. If you did not know who on the thumbnail, that is Jake. He got killed. He's a homeless cop. He got killed for opening his mouth on the Today Show during the hurricane a year ago. Believe it or not, we're closing in on the anniversary of Hurricane Harvey. And if you did not know, they named that storm from Harvey Weinstein. If you're not noticed, every time we see a name from the news, it's a hurricane. This is what I've got bad news about. Okay, they got guillotines this time on this barge, and I've been talking to Michael from Nibiru News, which I don't know why he calls it Nibiru, because it's not really Nibiru, unless he's talking about the China satellite. Thanks for the 2 likes, but we really need to show what's going on. I'm starting the tournament. I know y'all want to watch that too. But this is bad. I'm going to be honest with you. We've already lost over 44,000 Hawaiians. 44,000 are missing, folks. I think they carried them to Guantanamo Bay, where they opened up Guantanamo Bay when everybody thought Guantanamo Bay was for the elites, or the what-you-call-it. Okay. Fix this camera so y'all can get it right. All right. Perfect. All right. With further ado, we've got a lot to cover. That hurricane is at Category 4. It's supposed to be Category 3 in a couple of hours, just like I predicted. But it has changed directions, and that is a good sign. It's heading toward, like Lane did. Like Lane, Hector. I can't keep up, guys. There's so many hurricanes. And we are looking at a disturbance in the Atlantic, folks. The Atlantic, and it's heading toward Texas by September the 7th through the 10th. Okay, let's get it. Spike Dudley from ECW is who I created. If you don't remember Spike Dudley, that was the Dudley Boy's brother. I created. And I'll just go with the arena with, Anarchy rules. Why not? This ECW versus Jason Jordan. But here we go, folks. Get ready. With further ado, Michael from someonesbones.com. Oh, another thing. Breaking news. We have an asteroid that looks like a skull and bones that's coming toward Earth. And they just signed the executive order August 22nd. If it hits Earth, they're going to have problems. Okay, folks, our shield is very, 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 very weak. And if you don't believe in asteroids, well, ask the dinosaurs. How about that? All right, enjoy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mike from Nibiru News and someonesbones.com. First reminder, we will be back live tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll run from 8 to 10 tonight. So I hope to see you then. In the meanwhile, I have a short article to read. Take me 2 or 3 minutes, and I will let you go. The title of the article is FEMA barges headed back to Hawaii. And I will read. After several weeks in dry dock near San Francisco, a flotilla of FEMA barges and support craft are headed back to Hawaii, says a high-ranking FEMA employee under condition of anonymity. On August 21, barge commanders, as well as 3 armed fast attack ships, received a directive from Washington to immediately set sail for the Hawaiian Islands, which in recent months have been devastated by unprecedented volcanic eruptions and swarms of life-threatening earthquakes, and now could face catastrophic damage in the wake of Hurricane Lane. On paper, FEMA is labeled a disaster relief agency. In actuality, it is a weaponized arm of the Department of Homeland Security, an autonomous entity whose role drastically changed in October 2001 when President George W. Bush signed into law the Patriot Act. Since then, the agency has been tasked with harassing, intimidating, incarcerating, and killing law-abiding American citizens whose lives have been negatively affected by disastrous events. When crisis strikes, FEMA arrives, but not to help, and always targets the most disadvantaged persons first. In May, Hawaiian residents of Leilani Estates found themselves surrounded by a platoon of FEMA agents after a deadly lava flow scorched the affluent community. Many were escorted aboard FEMA barges and have not been seen since. Now FEMA is planning an encore presentation, this time against Hawaii's homeless population, approximately 8,000 people. I quote our source. It doesn't matter if the storm makes landfall. Regardless, the islands will be inundated with torrential rainfall that will displace the homeless camps. The Hawaiian Civil Defense Agency provided FEMA with the locations and estimated populations of these camps. If FEMA has its way, many of these undesirables will simply vanish overnight. Like last time, the barges will remain offshore in international waters, and fast boats will be used to swoop in. The homeless will be told FEMA is there to help, to provide food, shelter, and safety. They'll be carted off to the barges, stripped of all dignity, and relocated to a FEMA internment facility. After that, it's a dice roll what happens to them, our source said grimly. Even more disturbing, he said troublemakers face a modern-day equivalent of walking the plank, a punishment whereby a person attempting to start a mutiny, for example, will be thrown overboard to drown or be eaten by frenzied sharks. In the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, a dozen captured homeless people attempted a mutiny aboard a FEMA barge that was transporting them to a FEMA camp in Southern California. Half were thrown overboard, and the others were executed by guillotine, our source said. Quoting him again, they kill the malcontents and make the others watch. It's an excellent way to gain compliance. These people would be better off staying where they were. Being on a FEMA ship is worse than being homeless. The ships are abysmal. He compared the living conditions to Guantanamo Bay, claiming that FEMA prisoners are routinely subjected to humiliation and torture. They have no access to hot water and are fed slop from botulism-tainted 5-gallon tins of expired meats and fruits, while FEMA crews feast on delicious dinners prepared by gourmet chefs. Because each barge has only one physician, the sick either succumb to illness and are tossed overboard or must survive long enough to reach the nearest FEMA camp. Quoting him one last time, that we live in the 21st century and this happens is mind-boggling. The homeless in Hawaii are in grave. And that concludes the short article I wanted to read.
I tried to tell y'all, folks. I've been trying to tell y'all for 8 years, but guys, you should have woke up when you seen what happened in Hurricane Katrina. Okay? This has actually been going on since Hurricane Andrew. Yes, my name. 1990 is when none other than Bush Sr. said the New World Order was going to take over. Am I right? I mean, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate being right. I really do. But if you don't fight against these people, these rich people, Obama and Trump is together, folks. Obama signed the executive order in 2012 on some of this stuff with the guillotines and the everything, guys. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Trump and Obama is together. Together. I hate to put it in your ear again, but they are together. You think they're your heroes, but they're not. They're not. Look who signed the executive order on your food stamps, people. Look who's putting the shots in the in vaccine shots, and now they're saying your kids are special ed because of it. Just think about that, folks. You've been listening to the government for how long? And you haven't got nothing out of it but minimum wage? Guys, this is what I'm finding out. And I'm sick as a dog. And here I am getting upset again because this is so wrong, what they're doing in Hawaii. You don't think they're going to do it to y'all? There's a guy I talked to yesterday and said, well, if it's not happening to me, I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to happen to you. And somebody asked about, why am I not talking about the East Coast? I have. The East Coast is 6 to 7 years. Amy Burns, which your real name is Syndical Burns, as in Robert Crew from West Virginia. See, you don't want to play with me, Mr. 41 subscribers. You don't want to play with me. I will find your address, your name, and your face. You keep on trolling or bullying or whatever you're doing on my YouTube channels. Quit messing with the women online, Larissa Angel. Or we're going to send you back to China. I already told you what they're doing in China with the McDonald's. They're taking the Mexicans that they used in Texas. So, Syndical Burns, dumbass, you will be getting destroyed in 6 to 7 years. Get ready. It's happening right now in Hawaii. They got to do one state at a time, okay? One county at a time, because they don't got enough people. They're using contractors from prison. And guess what? Some of them aren't even making it because the Marines militia is shooting them left and right. You're not hearing that on the news because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know what's going on. Jason Jordan beats my creation. That's cool. So I've got another deal. I got another. Yeah. If you've not seen the people that just popped in, they are killing people that was in there. Does anybody remember Jake saying that on NBC? I do. And I told y'all it was going to happen. Texas, you got another one coming your way from the 7th, September the 7th through the 10th. You got Hurricane Gordon coming. I'm not talking about Flash Gordon. I'm not talking about Jeff Gordon. I'm talking about Gordon. If y'all have not heard, Jeff Sessions is could be fired. Okay? Didn't know if you knew that or not. Jeff Sessions is part of the problem that's been signing executive orders on killing people. Thought you might want to know that. Jeff Sessions was with none other than Barack Hussein Obama. By the way, I created Steve Blackman, if you remember him from the WWF Attitude Era. Enjoy. But seriously, we've got problems. If you've not heard, RoboCop is being built in Russia. I just seen a video of it a while ago. Unbelievable. It looks just like, remember that big gigantic robot that was towering over RoboCop in the 80s, or was it 80s or 90s? I never forgot. I think it was in the 90s. that RoboCop had he had to fight against. Well, it's in Russia. Looks just like it. Completely the same thing. Thank you for the 7 likes. I really appreciate it. I just hope y'all are sharing. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a lot. But we're going to go with the WWF Monday Night Raw arena that I created, since we're in the WWF Attitude Era with Monday Night Raw. I hope y'all enjoy. But JBL, I hope he gets his butt kicked. He's a bully, and I don't like bullies, folks. I've been fighting against bullies online for years, and I'm still doing it. They're never gonna win. But that was just one of the stories. Nibiru News got a lot of stories, but I hate the name Nibiru. That is a fake name of a planet. Fake planet, folks. Planet X is none other than Nibiru. Okay. Then you got Wormwood that's going under the equator, that's going to hit us with a bunch of asteroids. That's the planet that I'm concerned about. I'm not worried about Nibiru no more. Nibiru is pulling our planet toward the left, which does not surprise me, does it to you? If you've not seen my other report, BP Earthwatch, you're wrong, and he is wrong, folks. I don't know if he needs to get bifocals or what. I've got one eye, and I can see that the eye is turning left, and it's leaving Hawaii. It's 10 miles. It's turned 10 miles away from Hawaii, folks, and it looks like it's going to miss the island. It's even going to hit. It's not even going to hit the small islands now. I did put that out there. Was it Sunday? But when it changes like it has, you have to change directions. But speaking of changes, here you go. Breaking news on Mr. MBBBB 333. He's even saying the same thing I am. You can listen to it.
Thursday, August 23rd, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 7 a.m. Hawaii Time, 2018. Guys, just a quick Hurricane Lane update. I want to show you something that has just recently occurred here at the CIMSS. This is the track of Hurricane Lane and its current position as I do this video. You can see the eye wall has significantly moved to the left by probably 10 miles or so, just in the last hour and a half. It does look like it's moving to the left, which is good news for our friends in Hawaii. That would significantly decrease the effects of this storm if it continues on that track. And there is one model that shows it going that direction. Only one. And right now it's on that path perfectly. Whether it stays on that track remains to be seen. All of the other models have it going to the north, northwest. Some even have it going slightly to the right and then back to the west. But right now, the eye wall has moved to the left by probably a good 10 miles. So we'll have to wait and see if it continues that trend. Definitely moving to the left side of the cone, which is good news for our friends in Hawaii. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day and be safe out there.
Now it could be turning left. Yes, it could be turning left, but I've seen storms go in circles, like in the Gulf. So right now it's turning left. Let's hope it stays in the path like Hector did. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's not even away from the island yet, so there's still a lot of flooding going on that I'm really concerned about. The flooding is going to be humongous. And that's what we're worried about. Mudslides and a tsunami could happen heading toward the west coast. And that's what we're concerned about. That might be what they're planning on doing with this hurricane. But there's another one behind it. So we're about to be at what? 15 hurricanes very, very soon. And we've got 5 more for me to have the record to 20 where I predicted in New Year's Eve, which they took that video down. I mean, they taking everything down, guys, because we know what's coming and they don't like it. They don't like that we're saving y'all's lives. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't like that we're saving our people's lives, then you must want to go to hell. I mean, I don't. I want to save as many people as I can. Uh, Logic of Authority has some news to talk about, and we're going to go with that right now. Daniel, I really appreciate everything you've done. We are all working as a team, and the small channels are coming ahead of the big channels. It's not about subscribers, even though you need to subscribe to get updates, or you just can come at 4 o'clock every day, which we may have a second video, may have a double header today. Depends on what the weather's going to do and the hurricane changing there, everything. The volcanoes are about to erupt on the west coast. We're talking about California changing directions on us, guys. There is a volcano under California. I cannot believe I'm saying this. We're just now noticing that. And how many scientists do they got out there? And we're, what? We're low. We're not even getting paid for this? Y'all are getting paid for this? I mean, monkeys in the truck, please do better than we're doing here. I mean, I feel like we're the ones that should be getting paid, not these NASA scientists that can't even get nothing right. I mean, seriously. Here it is, folks. Hurricane Lane to flood Hawaii. Forecast 20 inches of rain. I think it's going to be 40 inches if it slows down more. What I'm hearing could slam on its brakes. So let's keep on. Let's listen to this because he has got some good stuff.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon, and this is Logic Before Authority. Today we're going to take a look at Hurricane Lane, which is out in the Pacific, pretty much taking aim for Hawaii. Hurricane, what was his name? The one last week. It's already slipping my mind.
Hector.
Well, he didn't get the job
Hurricane
done.
Hector.
So we've got another one that's headed to Hawaii. I'm going to show you what the projected paths are for this hurricane and what they're saying it's going to do. Currently, we are looking at today's date, and the hurricane right now, over the next couple of days, it is forecast to intensify and continue on a west-northwest trajectory. So first, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the path and where they say it's going to go. So here's the 19th. Here's the 20th. Here's the 21st. Here's the 22nd. Here's the 23rd. And here's where it gets really interesting. At this point, the whole area will be impacted when it comes to Hawaii because it's too close. It'll be on the north side. There won't be intense winds, but there'll be a lot of rain if this path holds. Here's the 24th. It moves in even closer, particularly to some of the smaller islands. And on the 25th, actually making landfall in Hawaii. On the 26th.
Wrong. It's not making landfall in Hawaii yet. I don't know how to explain it, folks. He's not getting the same stuff I'm getting from Kevin Shipp and Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden has hit it a home run, folks. I'm getting his information, and that's where I'm getting the truth. And the truth is, Edward Snowden was in the belly of the beast. We wasn't. They was. And they're the ones that's walking away from the pedophile government to try to save your life. And they got me out here and some more others out here telling the truth and speaking for you. Speaking for the Marines militia. anonymous WikiLeaks, ex-CIA, ex-NSA, and the Navy and the Army that walked away from the government that's going to fight against these people for you. But my voice is gone, folks. I told you I wasn't going to make it today. But y'all listen to him. I'm going to shut up. There you go. Enjoy. By the way, I created Stevie from the ECW BWO versus Jeff Hardy. Enjoy.
Kind of hanging around in Hawaii on the 22nd or 27th. Still hanging around in Hawaii. The eye of the hurricane centered on Hawaii itself. This is back on the 26th, the 27th. So that is going to bring a tremendous amount of moisture and ultimately wind. Here is the 28th, still maintaining the eye approximately on one of the small islands of Hawaii. Now let's jump back to the 18th. Okay, let's look at something different here. Let's look at the precipitation. Okay, and let's move forward again. Let's go to the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. As you can see, starting on the 23rd, about Thursday, this coming Thursday, precipitation will start falling in the Hawaii Islands. And the 24th and the 25th. Now, if we take a look at the precipitation from now until then, you can see that there is extreme levels of precipitation that's going to take place. Look at what it's saying for Hawaii. 17 inches of rain. Y'all guys remember what I told you about Hawaii and if they get a lot of rain right now. 18 inches of rain, 17 inches of rain. That is a whole lot of rain. This would represent a major problem for Hawaii.
The hurricane is too. I mean, the barges are going to be bad.
And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a very long time, you'll know why this is going to represent a lot of problems for them. There's a lot of lava. I'll try to explain briefly. There's a lot of lava that is laying just below the surface down in cracks. The lava is still probably at the range of 1,500 degrees to 2,000 degrees.
Yep.
It's fresh lava that just hasn't been pushed out on the ground, but it is extremely hot lava. These cracks that the fissure that opened up, that were created from that fissure crack in the ground all the way down to Lalani Estates where fissure 8 is at, and so on. All those cracks are going to get a ton of water pouring in it. And the caldera at Kilauea, which has a enormous amount of lava down below it that has cracked and caved in, is going to be like a 2-mile wide funnel for all this water.
Yep.
All that water for a 2-mile wide area or larger is going to run down that funnel that is the mouth of the volcano. And if it comes in contact with lava, you will have a huge explosion.
Yep. That's what I've been saying.
This could be a major problem for the Helena slump.
Mm-hmm. Helena slump, the Caldera.
Let's back out here a little bit. As you can see,
Yep.
This is absolutely worst scenario. We do not want what the computer models say to happen. We do not want this much water running down these mountains into Kilauea.
But it's planned. 9/11 plot.
Oh boy. You see, there's a big mountain right here, and all this water would run down it into Kilauea.
Yep. Along with a plant,
Wow.
chemical plant involved.
This is not good, guys.
Nope.
Last time with Hector, they were not predicting Hector to impact the islands, and they were not predicting Hector to create a lot of rain for the islands.
Nope.
This time, this is their prediction.
There's another one right behind it.
Almost 20 inches of rain on the Big Island. That's going to create mudslides and flooding, major flooding, and
Tsunami.
maybe explosions. And this is not good. This is very, very, very bad. Worst case scenario. They're forecasting. The only thing that could be worse is if they hit.
Yeah.
And there's still the possibility of that. But from a standpoint of that volcano and the dangers that exist there, this is worst case scenario, and it's forecasted to happen.
Yep. The eye may not be getting there, but the other is.
Let's see here. That's just mind blowing. I haven't looked at this. I glanced at it, but I did not know that this is what was being forecasted. Let's look at we'll look at wind speeds.
25 foot
Let's back
waves,
states now.
folks, is going to hit Hawaii. 25 feet waves.
So you can see that it doesn't look like the big island of Hawaii gets a lot of wind.
Hey guys, it's Brian here at Nichols Outfitters in Pelham, and we're really excited about seizing.
Oh, sorry about that. 25 foot waves going to hit Hawaii.
Looks like about hurricane force winds moving into Honolulu area. In the area of it anyways. I'm not sure what this island here is called. I'm sure some of you know what that's called. I can look it up, but I'm not positive.
Well, you need to look it up. I don't even know it.
So it's coming. So guys, I'd say you need to watch this hurricane very close, because if this comes true, we're gonna, I mean, no matter what, if this comes true, we're gonna have some major problems in Hawaii. I mean, they're forecasting big numbers in numerous of the islands. Okay, so I would imagine it's going to be all of the islands that are going to have these huge numbers like this. Get your things together and make sure if you live there, be prepared. If you live on the west coast of the United States or the west coast of any country around there, you might want to keep an eye on things too. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I do know what you're talking about.
If you're new, subscribe. If you're wondering why I haven't been on here lately, I've got some issues going on, you might say. I'm having to move. There is mold in this house. You can hear it in my voice, and I've wondered why my voice has been like this for a while. But this house I'm living in there's a leak, and it's leaking down the inside of the wall and all up in the attic. hurricane recently.
Wow.
And so I've got to get out of here. I don't know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go, or how I'm even going to do it. And so I'm packing and moving. Y'all guys take care. I'll be back with you soon. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you like the content of this channel, want more of it, feel free to show me some love right now. I could really need it. Links are below for any donations or anything you'd like to do for me. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Say your prayers tonight.
He's a good guy. Daniel is
Till
awesome.
next time, use logic before authority.
There is another one I want y'all to.
Most, he's Phil Mickelson.
Let's see if I can get to it. And we're going to go back to what we were talking about the other day. What did I talk about yesterday? Didn't I talk about the hurricane, the movie, or the cartoon with the Simpsons? I did, didn't I? Which one was that? And if you've not heard, we're going to see if this is it. This might be it. Maybe it's not. Let's see here. He went live 3 days ago. That might be it. Let's see.
Logic before authority. Hey guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon. This is Logic before authority.
Then again, that's not it. I know it's not it. That's not him. That's not it. It would not echoing like that. This might be it.
Logic before authority.
Maybe this is it. This guy's awesome.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. Things in Hawaii have gotten worse with the hurricane situation coming to meet all that lava that's laying down in the fissures and all the lava that's under the caldera that has been caving in and has all those cracks running down to the lava. It's called a hydrovolcanic explosion. Now, it would take a massive amount of water in order to make this happen. Well, we've got nearly 40 inches of rain forecast for Hawaii in the coming week. 40 inches. You're talking massive flooding. You're talking a mega disaster, even without the potential for the explosions coming from the water hitting that lava sitting down in those fissures. And because the lava ain't going away, it's laying down there in there. It's just not pressurized and coming out of the hole right now, coming out of fissure 8. Okay. Let me show you how this has unfolded, you might say. All the models except one have the hurricane hitting Hawaii. I'll show you that too here in just a minute. If we back up here, go back to today. Okay, this is today. You got the hurricane sitting there, and then as we progress forward, the hurricane comes in towards Hawaii, and then strikes Hawaii. Okay, it hits the big island of Hawaii first, according to this model. Okay.
This is Tajiri from ECW that I created versus Jey Uso. Enjoy.
The second day on Saturday, it's still there. It's still throwing out a tremendous amount of rain. I'm not even as concerned about the wind, although this could be a wind problem too if it comes in at a Cat 3. Cat 2 ain't gonna be no fun, but a Cat 3, wouldn't think it would come in at a Cat 4, but you never know in this situation. So that's the 25th. Here's the 26th. Let me zoom this on in a little bit. That's the 26th. hurricane still is lingering, hanging out, and then the 28th. Okay, you see we have massive amount of rain here, precipitation, and the highest area of precipitation that's predicted is Hawaii, is the Big Island. You've got 30 some inches on the smaller island over here. And on some of these other islands, they get a lot of precipitation too. But the Big Island is forecast right at 40 inches of rain. I'm not sure I've ever seen a place get 40 inches of rain. Have you? 40? I mean, imagine 40 inches of rain running down the topography of this island. This is a big mountain. That's all the island is everything's on a lean. This is going to be catastrophic. Here's the hurricane as it sits right now. Let me move this a little bit. Currently directly on path to Hawaii. Here is the model showing the upper level winds. It's showing why this hurricane is going to turn and come up in here and hit by the upper level winds, which is what steers a stronger hurricane, are going this way. So it's going to come up in here and just turn right up into it.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why
Well, he got his dollar.
There's another view. Here's a model for you to take a look at. That's one model, direct hit right down the islands. Here's another model, turns and hooks right into the islands. Comes in close and then turns and hooks because of those upper level winds running this way. Here's another model. Turn and hook right in also, and then lingering around. The first model, I think it was this one. Let me look at this one again. Maybe it wasn't that one. Okay, here's another model. Basically straight into Hawaii as well. Enough to produce the kind of rainfall we're talking about. There it goes with its hook up into the Hawaii, to the islands. And here's the model that says it misses. Okay? Now I'm going to get into something else. You've seen the weather, you've seen the predictions. Now I'm going to show you something that many of you will not understand. But we're going to look at this situation from a meteoric standpoint. We're going to look at the gematria surrounding this situation. We've got Hurricane Lane, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to look at the words associated and the phrases associated with this hurricane. And we're going to convert them into numbers and then see what other words and phrases happen to match it. And to match, in order for these things to match,
What he's about to do is about to shock you folks. And I've already checked it out. I've already looked it up. It is true. You can go look it up yourself. But what he's about to tell you is true about the hurricane and about what's about to happen to all the catastrophes and everything. Everything was planned and made up by geometry. Enjoy and get your popcorn ready. You're not going to be shocked who the names he calls out.
million one type of a situation. Okay, so we've got Hurricane Lane. Now don't let this throw you off. You're going to be fascinated by the time that I show you what I've got to show you. Plus, I'm going to take you and show you, and this will sound crazy, but if you know much about this stuff, you'll understand that the elites like to embed information, even in things like cartoons. For instance, The Simpsons. I'm going to show you the Simpson episode that had a hurricane, and I'm going to show you that it is absolutely tied to this situation right now. So, if you want to see some interesting, esoteric, wild stuff, hang around, okay? So Hurricane Lane matches Judgment Day. It also matches 888, which is 888. That won't make sense to some of you, but we'll come back to that. 888. Ascension Day. And then if we look at Lane, I'm going to move quickly here. Then if we look at Lane, okay? Lane equals Obama, okay? It's like millions to one that Lane, Obama, okay? Now, here's the episode of The Simpsons, okay? Here it is here. The episode of The Simpsons that was about a hurricane, okay? Now, what I did was I went through this video and I broke it apart and show you some different things that are all tied back to what we're talking about here, even tied back to Hawaii. You see, throughout the episode, okay, there are a lot of hints and various things that tie to this situation with the volcano and with Hawaii and this hurricane. For instance, the screenshot that you're looking at right now is of them. They're in the basement, okay, and Marge comes walking across here and just happens to be in their basement. They have a Hawaiian antiquity sitting in the back corner. You see that Hawaiian antiquity sitting back there? Okay, so let's keep going. Now that is a direct tie to Hawaii. I think everyone would agree that. Okay, so let's see. Hurricane Nettie, okay, is the name of the episode. Hurricane Nettie. It happens to be the 8th episode in the 8th season. Okay, came out back in 1996. The 8th episode of the 8th season. That is just amazing. Okay, now let's look on down a little bit further here. Okay, you've got to see the Quickie Mart. The Quickie Mart is where they went to get their supplies in this episode. And I'm going to show you something about the Quickie Mart here in a second. And you notice here that it says it took 8 months of continuous spanking of Ned in order for him to overcome his psychological problems associated with this event. I know that sounds wild, but they chose 8. I didn't. Okay, so it says the original broadcast, Hurricane Nettie, finished 18th in the rankings. And it gave it a Nielsen rating of 8.7, and it had viewers of 8.4, 4 being half of 8, but 8.4 million. All about the 8s, right? So now let's go ahead and look a little further here. What we have here is that image again of them in the basement hiding from the hurricane, and there is the Hawaiian antiquity sitting in the background. They only show it fully so you can see it for just a second. Okay, in the episode they called it Hurricane Barbara, actually. Hurricane Barbara, here you have that. Hurricane Barbara just happens to match Aloha from Hawaii. And so they showed the people are eating cat chow, and they scratched out cat and changed it to hurricane chow. Okay, Hurricane Chow just happens to match the apocalypse. It also just happens to match Bart Simpson. You see that? Hurricane Chow matches Bart Simpson. The odds of that happening are millions to one unless it was intentional. It also matches Lisa Simpson. That's right. Now, another thing they bought when they were there or looked at buying was corn nog. Okay? Corn nog matches Barack Obama. It also matches Soros.
That doesn't surprise me.
And Red Dragon.
Soros is involved.
From Revelations, the Red Dragon. It also matches the womb.
That means it's China.
Another thing they looked at buying was wadded beef. Okay? Wadded beef just happens to match Homer.
Wow.
Okay? Just happens to match Dragon.
As in China.
Then there was a scene that in the video, episode 8 of the season 8, and this came across and said the hurricane. Okay? So the hurricane
Let me guess.
just happens to match Donald Trump.
I was right.
Trump was Trump's original family name. You can look this up.
I was
Donald
right.
Trump
Donald
matches the
Trump.
hurricane.
What?
It also happens to match Barack Hussein in Jewish gematria.
Interesting.
Now, they played with a Rubik's Cube in the basement. The Rubik's Cube matches Twin Flame, matches Time's Up. I've done videos about Time's Up. That's a common word that's being used in the media right now. It also matches the Great Flood. It also or Hurricane Nettie, okay, at 894 matches Marge Simpson.
Interesting.
You see?
Wow. That's all I got to say.
And it
Now.
also matches Rubik's Cubit, which is what the original name of the Rubik's Cube was. It also matches Babylon Has Fallen. Also matches George F. Soros, Skull and Bones, End of the World, Lord's Arrival, Kingdom of Heaven, The Prince of Peace.
Wow.
And here's Quickie Mart, Quick E Mart, right? This was in the video as well.
666. I already looked it up.
Well, the Quickie Mart is actually a very interesting one. It is the gematria of 666. So the Quickie Mart with 666 and 111. It happens to match Don Trump, which again, Trump is the original family name of the Trump family.
Yep.
Don Trump matches that, 666. It also matches the first two names of the current Pope, George Mario. Also matches Pizzagate.
Doesn't
Also
surprise
matches
me.
iPetGoat 2.
That does not surprise me.
Also matches Dollar Crash.
Wow. Really?
Now, in the episode also, there was this scene where Bernie's Bolorama was flying through the sky. Okay? Bernie's Bolorama, as you see here, is 1044. And what would that possibly match? Homer J. Simpson. Imagine that. Also matches New World Order,
Yep.
Stormy Daniels,
Yep.
and Pope Francis.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Doesn't surprise me.
It also matches number of the beast. Also matches storm is coming.
Storm is
Eye
out
of the
here.
storm. Now, a couple of last things here. They showed a newspaper in the episode. This is the newspaper that you can see here. Okay. You'll notice at the very top, it shows on the newspaper, talking about the hurricane coming in, right? And it shows a map. This happens to be a map of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I could superimpose Hawaii, and I'll pull that up for you real quick.
He's right. I've already looked it up. That's why I'm doing this.
I'm going to show you the
News
shape
right here,
of the big
folks.
island.
Real and
of Hawaii.
shocking, surprising news right here, folks.
Here we go. There's the shape of the big island of Hawaii.
And I bet you a lot of y'all keeps on backing out and saying, oh, this ain't nothing to do with me. This is Hawaii. Oh, contraire. It's going to be doing a lot with you when the prices of gas goes up to $20 a gallon on purpose. Hold on, I'm not even done yet, folks. I'm not even done. By 2021, your gas will be up to $200 a gallon because you didn't listen to me. Do you know why? Because I was warning you since 2014, kids on NASCAR Online, that says I was the crazy one. When gas is keeping on moving up, if you not noticed, moving on up to the top. Don't ever underestimate me or the Marines militia or Anonymous or WikiLeaks or the ex-CIA or the ex-NSA. Because when I tell you when Trump and Obama is together, that right there, my friends, is telling you it's Trump and Obama is together. They're all actors. And General Dunford is going to do martial law. It's not going to be your president, folks. General Dunford is about to dump you upside the head if you don't listen. They're coming for your kids. And they're coming for the ladies. Because they don't want no more kids on Earth. That's their plan. Wake up, folks.
See that? It has this area here that comes out and goes around like that, back down this way. And then you got this area over here, right? There it is. Going out like this and turning back. And coming out around here. Just like Hawaii. Going out and turning back. This area over here. That is Hawaii. See it there? Going out and turning back. In this area over here. This is Hawaii depicted in this hurricane episode. It is without a doubt, absolute 100%. And we've got 30 inches of rain coming. And almost every one of the models are saying it's going to hit Hawaii. If you live in Hawaii, you better take my words seriously and prepare.
Yes.
You better make sure you're not in any kind of where a major flood could come down the side of a mountain or gully and hit you.
Yep.
If you are, and I mean, you're talking, this is going to flood where there's never been a flood.
Nope.
Okay? You need to
Right.
think about this and get yourself out of the path of this flood. And Lord forbid, don't be in the area of the Helena slump.
No.
Or in the area of those fissures or
Cadera.
Kilauea.
The Cadera.
And I don't know what to
The
say about
summit.
the rest of the island,
Stay away from it.
to be honest with you.
It's going to slide into
Guys,
the
I
ocean.
hope this does not happen.
As we're closing in on the 28th.
However, I know for a long time that they've been interested in creating a major, massive, destructive flood on the East explosions that are going to happen when this water, 30, 40 inches of rain, goes down into the caldera, which is a 2-mile wide funnel because it's caved in the middle and slumped down. It's a perfect. When that much water goes in there, it's going to hit that lava, and it's going to hit the lava that's laying in the fissures with all those cracks in the ground running up and down through there, and it's going to be one massive explosion right after the other.
Yep.
You're going to have one explosion which is going to clear out the ground. The water's going to pour in again continuously. Another massive explosion, and it's going to be all up and down the East Rift, and it's going to be at the caldera itself.
Yep.
And when these explosions are going on, they're going to be so massive.
Yep.
We're talking the massive explosions that there's no telling what else is going to happen on this island, including the Helena slump going into the Pacific and causing a tsunami.
Yep.
1,000 feet tall.
Thank you.
That's not my number. Berkeley University in California said that if the Helena slump went into the ocean,
That's what their
it
plan
would
is.
create a 1,000-foot tsunami.
That's what their plan
If a
is.
1,000-foot tsunami happens, you better make sure that you take that into account before you plan into. Don't be anywhere remotely near sea level,
Nope.
but yet get out of the way of this flood, because this thing comes in and dumps anywhere even half of what this forecast is. It's going to be rivers running down the side of all different places in Hawaii.
Yep.
On all the islands. None of the islands are safe from this.
He's right. He's on fire. He's on it.
Guys, I appreciate your time. I hope that you pay attention to what's going on. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. This is Daniel Alexander Cannon, and this is Logic Before Authority.
And we are before authority. We're going to bring down the authority. You know why? Because we are the best in the world, and we make scientists, NASA, and we make the NWO, the government, our bitch. Oh, I'm not done yet, folks. I've got something else I want y'all to hear. Dutch Sense just predicted something that is coming true as we speak. After we leave the hurricane, we're going to talk about the earthquakes and the volcanoes that's about to erupt on the West Coast. Could this happen at the same time? Domino effect from Hawaii to California? Yes, because remember the movie San Andreas. What was coming in after the earthquake? That tsunami that Daniel is predicting for it to happen. Well, guess what? I've got something for y'all to listen to. 1918 was predicted this. And guess what? All these volcanoes that's happening and all these earthquakes that's happening this week. Holy crap. I had a 6.2 in Alaska that happened this morning around 1:30 this morning. I've been working my rear end off, sick as a dog. What's keeping me going is y'all and me saving you. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about bringing down the NWO, the rich, to take down them for the poor. And that's what I'm here for. Black, white, Hispanic. I'm telling you guys, y'all need to work together, or RoboCop is going to come in here and get you from Russia and China. That's all I got to say. Here we go. Enjoy.
Now, next to this, the record-breaking fires breaking out over next here. Let me show this to you now. Record-breaking fires breaking out at our volcano locations, which is, again, people weighed in. I showed everybody. We compared the fires. We showed everyone. And the best explanation any skeptics or anybody could come up with is that it's just coincidence that the fires are breaking out next to our ancient volcanoes and at our earthquake swarm locations. Both earthquake swarm locations and volcanoes started to see these fires break out, and they're just massive, and they're just popping up everywhere on clear days. So they tried to blame a guy with a burning wheel and stuff, and it's just look, it's popping up at the tops of volcanoes and on the backs of earthquake swarm locations. The best explanation anybody can come up with is that it's a coincidence.
So I wanted to share with you guys a dream that I had this afternoon. A recurring dream I've had. So a lot of times they tell you to pay attention to your recurring dreams.
Yeah.
This dream is about a volcano that goes off very close to where I'm at or I'm aware of. And I'm trying to warn people. In light of what we've been seeing tectonically with the volcanic activity on the Ring of Fire, the dream that I've had for many years, which is a recurring dream, had to do with the volcano going off in California.
Now, what we're going to look at here, this is a real-time live view. So it's the GOES 16 imagery, and this goes throughout the day up to our most current image. But what you'll see are the actual fires. Once it goes dark here, you'll actually see the glow of the fires. See this? Down at the bottom, these are the actual glow of the fires. This is at the Washington border with BC. So take a look at it this way. Even throughout the day, you can still make out the glow of the fire, which the satellite is picking up. And then into night, it really starts to stand out. And we've got our spots glowing all the way over here. Here's a spot here, 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 here. It gets a little dim. You can't really see them. And then we go up into Canada. And this is where it really is just, I mean, these spots are glowing like get out. So let's bring it forward to tonight's imagery right here. See this glow? See this reddish glow? That's actual fire being detected. This is all glowing, guys. That's glowing bright red. Now look where the locations are. Here's the earthquake swarm location right here where this 4.6 just hit. We go over and those are the volcanic fields. Let me prove that to you. Here's the earthquake swarm location. Go over, here's the volcanic fields.
So in this dream that I had today, I was trying to warn people. And every time I have this dream about volcanic activity very close by to where I'm at, I'm always trying to warn people, trying to warn them about what's coming. And in this dream, I was trying to warn people about this volcano. Nobody saw it. I saw it in the back. It's always like in the back of my house. I'm looking out the back up into the mountains and I can see it going off. Big, massive explosion. And so anyways, that's where I was this afternoon in my dream state, seeing a volcanic eruption, trying to warn some people. And not for some reason people weren't hearing, like I was trying to tell them and they couldn't hear my voice. Like it was one of those dreams where you're trying to say something and you can't really say it.
So the volcanic fields lit up, and then up to the north, the other ones did. How could it be coincidence when it's just near those spots next to them? It's so weird. I understand it's hard to get swallow a pill on that, but what does it mean? It means that, well, we've got ourselves a real serious situation going on next to the volcanoes. Could it be caused by heat coming up? Sure. But it would require a plate-wide disturbance. Oh, wait, we're going through one of those right now across the whole Pacific plate.
Now, I believe that what's happening right now on the Ring of Fire is going to affect the West Coast volcanically, not just with earthquakes. And I've noticed, I was looking at the map yesterday of all the active volcanoes on the Ring of Fire, and it's just all the way around except for on the West Coast. It's like blank. So my sense is that, spiritually speaking, for those who are into the prophecy, is that this may be a prophetic dream that's going to give a heads up on some volcanic activity on the West Coast. I'd say from all the way from Alaska down into Mexico, all in between, mostly on the West Coast of the United States, that we should be seeing some kind of volcanic activity, some pretty major, significant types of eruptions. And I'm not saying just eruptions. I think there's going to be actual earthquakes as well. But volcanic activity for sure is going to be ramping up. That usually coincides with a lot of earthquake activity anyways. So be on the lookout for that. I did talk about a lot of shaking about less than a week ago. I did a video and I said there was going to be some big shaking coming, and here we go. Did we not have some big shaking in the last 2 days? Exactly what I said.
So to get the fires popping up next to the swarm locations is just where I'm starting with this. So we have a 4.6 up here at near 5, and we're going to go down into California and over across the United States.
So hopefully this gets out. This message does get out, and if it doesn't, then it'll just sit there and hardly anybody will see it, just like the dream, and then you'll see a big volcanic eruption on the West Coast. And then everybody will refer back to this video and say, he got it right. All right. Well, I'm going to post this right now, and God bless you. Make sure you...
So there you have it, folks. You got to understand this. Hawaii's not the only volcano that has erupted, folks. We've had 12 volcanoes erupt around the world. Guess what? 13, 14, 15, 16. 4 more volcanoes, and we're going to have all the volcanoes to erupt in the world. Guys, they're covering something up. They're doing it on purpose, so you will not see Wormwood coming. That's their plan, and I see it, and I hope y'all are seeing it now. I've noticed this. More chemtrails are bottoming out. I mean, seriously, it's making me sick. Making you, I'm sure it's making y'all sick. Breaking news. Logic Before Authority is talking about Kilauea and hurricane again. Let's go to that. Let's go with this. This is interesting. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a live thing. Is he going to talk? We'll go with it for a little while. We've only got one max though. If y'all want me to come back, keep on liking and subscribing and hitting the share button. Might come back again tonight, folks, and do another one because it's getting ugly. The rain is heading into Hawaii right now. I will tell you that much. Okay, he's not talking, so we're going to go to the next story because I got another story to it. Somebody wants to know, wants a comment, and I do this often. I do this sometimes. And Charlotte Knight, thank you for being so nice. If BP Earthwatch is wrong, why do you keep watching him? Rest in peace. I'm not watching him. Somebody else is for me. I'm not watching him. Somebody else is watching him for me. Maybe you did not know, but I have Kevin Shipp and Edward Snowden, John Moore, even the great Dane Winnington, all watching him, and he is lying to everyone because he has been sold out to the NWO. There's your answer. Period. So there you have it, folks. PDE wants to talk mad question there. You got it. You got the answer. I'm not the one that having to watch these. I've got people giving me information. Man, I guess you just thought that I was just picking on old BP. No. He picked on his own self. Him and Paul Begley saying that they're not bombs, they're earthquakes. And that for a fact can change the whole direction of your whole YouTube channel. But I like to know that people are understanding that I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. He threw himself under the bus a couple of months ago in May when he threatened me. And that happens, I guess. But let's see here. I'm going to go to the next story. Got so many stories today, folks. Which I'm trying to find the best story, and I think the best story would be let's see here. Was that yesterday? Oh, go to that. Oh, this is today. All right. Listen to this, folks. interesting. This come out yesterday. We have a asteroid coming our way, and I told you about this is the story, and it's confirmed. Here it is, Skywatch. We're going to talk about this a little bit more tonight.
Hi everyone, this is Steve for the Skywatch Media News Channel, and here's what's happening for the week of August 21st, 2018. The big astronomical news that is circulating across the internet this month involves a monster asteroid heading towards Earth and also the presence of a massive rogue planet at the outskirts of the solar system. Earth is set for another creepy encounter with a 700-meter asteroid that looks eerily similar to a human skull. The nearly 1/2 mile long space rock first passed close to our planet at 78,000 miles per hour and at a distance of 310,000 miles back on October 31st of 2015. Now the asteroid is set to make a return visit this November. According to astronomers, the space rock known as 2015 TB-145 most likely completes one rotation.
So let me get this straight. There's one coming in November. So what about the one that's supposed to be coming in October the 31st? So there's two coming? I mean, it does not surprise me there's more than one, but if you not noticed, Putin has been shooting them down left and right. I just hope they get this one because this one looks like a monster, folks. It's bigger than Texas and California put together.
Every 2.94 hours. The object measures in the range of 2,300 feet in length. Its shape is a slightly flattened ellipsoid, and its rotation axis was roughly perpendicular to the Earth at the time of its closest proximity. The asteroid is dark, mostly unreflective, which indicates that it is only visible from Earth using large telescopes or by means of space telescopes. Scientists speculate that the asteroid could be an extinct comet which lost its volatile compounds after orbiting the sun numerous times. The asteroid was discovered on October 10th of 2015 by the University of Hawaii's Panoramic Survey Telescope and Rapid Response System that is located on the island of Maui, which is part of the NASA's funded Near-Earth Object Observations Program. Because of its erratic orbit, NASA isn't sure of its trajectory, but the space agency indicates, as they do with all near-Earth objects, that it most likely will not endanger our planet. But of more concern than asteroid TD-145 is the report from astronomers that a massive rogue planet that is 12 times bigger than Jupiter has been spotted by means of a radio telescope, according to the National Radio Astronomy Observatory.
That would be Wormwood.
The monstrous object is drifting without any definitive type of orbit around a parent star.
Must be Wormwood.
The magnetic field of the wandering planet is said to be 200 times stronger than Jupiter's magnetic influence. The object is somewhere between a planet and a brown dwarf, which is a type of failed star. Brown dwarfs are perplexing bodies because they cannot be accurately described in terms of their actual identity, being that between a planet and an actual star. These objects, much like our planet, are capable of producing strong auroras, similar in scope to what has been seen on Jupiter and Saturn. What scientists are indicating is that the rogue planet is estimated to be 200 million years of age and roughly 20 light years from our planet. It is also described as a celestial body that produces scorching surface temperatures of more than 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. In comparison, our sun's surface temperature is in the neighborhood of 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which then places this object in the category of a failed star or up around to Earth. That is in the odd orbit, or is in an odd orbit around a parent star. Because the size and description of the object is not definitive according to scientific theory, it is feasible that the object is more in line with the description of a larger planet. The threats from space are real and they're unpredictable. Incoming objects and cosmic radiation pose serious long-term problems for humanity. But the extreme Earth changes are an immediate concern for our planet.
This is Dr. Gunter Zulauf. Did he solve Carmichael's totient conjecture?
In the last 2 weeks, worldwide seismic activity has made big headlines among the people and the nations that comprise the Pacific Ring of Fire. On August 21st, 2 more strong earthquakes struck along the ring, including a 7.3 in Venezuela and a 6.6 in the archipelago of Vanuatu. The Venezuelan quake hit at a depth of 76 miles, which provides some indications that the tectonic plates are moving and that the continent is beginning to shift. In this event, it looks like the South American plate has slid to the west under the Caribbean plate as the plates move in opposite directions. The powerful earthquake was felt across the northern coast of South America and along the Caribbean arc all the way up to Fort de France. A few hours after this event, another strong earthquake struck Vanuatu at a depth of 6 miles at the convergence of the Australian and the Pacific plates. At the time of this recording, August 22nd, a very strong earthquake struck off the coast of Oregon, raising concerns among people living in densely populated areas along the Pacific coast. What is so alarming about this event is that the epicenter lies directly on the Cascadia fault line, which is associated with the much larger Ring of Fire, where more than 60 substantial earthquakes have struck in just the last few days. Enhanced activity along the Ring of Fire is a sure sign that a catastrophic event or a series of events will happen because the Ring of Fire encompasses the entire Pacific Basin. And it is from this region that 90% of the world's earthquakes take place. Just recently, a major 8.2 earthquake hit along the Fiji Islands in the South Pacific, as well as a deadly and destructive 6.9 event that took place on Lombok Island in Indonesia. These events have seismologists worried, as the unsettling Ring of Fire could eventually lead to a catastrophic event along the U.S. West Coast, including California and the Cascadia Zone.
And didn't I say that? I believe I've been saying that. And Berkeley scientists have been saying it, which they need to announce it on national television, but they don't want to because they want to still make money off of y'all. And that's their plan. My plan is to get you ready because if you've not noticed, all these big businesses are already getting ready. Like Lowe's leaving NASCAR. That's one of the biggest companies in the world is Lowe's, and they're closing their doors. Just thought you might want to know that. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I will be coming back if anything comes along. So hit that bell and subscribe. Subscribe to my other channel if you haven't. You're new to this. I'm trying my best to get you ready. I know this is WWE and this, but I'm having to be under the radar because I've had over 500 videos deleted by the New World Order. And now I'm smarter than them. Y'all have a nice day. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And thank you for the likes. Seriously, 11 likes. I must be doing something right. I care. I hope you do. If you do care, share. I love you. I'll be safe. And God bless America.